Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Wow, what a crazy day, guys. I actually had a wild day. I picked the wrong stocks today. I traded my plan. It didn't work right out of the gates. Several really good moves that I missed today, and that's a bummer. That's just part of trading. You can't always pick the right ones. I definitely picked the wrong ones, but I'll go over what I did. I still ended really strong today, which somewhat by luck. Really, I should have had a red day today. I was red actually before I entered a trade while I was playing PUBG with my friend. I had my grids on my upper monitor, and I was gaming on I game on the same monitor that I trade on, and or the same computer. And I had my other computer running, and I was just watching, and I noticed that the market had got below a certain level, and so I pulled up. I actually took a trade. I'll show you where I did that. It was kind of insane. So I took I changed a $1,230 loss into a 3,400 overall profit. So massive trade, and couldn't feel better about it because man, the last 3 or 4 days for me has been very challenging. This strategy has been working for quite a while. Even through chop, I've been able to manage it pretty well. And don't get me wrong, I've been profitable, but man, it has just been it's been rough. I've had a bunch of, paper cuts or losses that looked like great setups in some cases. Some not the best setups, but um, and then, well, for instance, I'll show you what well, my first trade of the day was Apple, and I was trading it to the downside. Of course, the market was going up. I did tell everyone in the channel, I did this a couple days ago, and Apple paid off. It went down while the market went up. My main reason for taking the trade like I did today, and this is for the members in the Discord that traded with me today, because I think maybe some of them, they may have taken this trade with me and also taken a loss unless they got out early, which would have been smarter than I did. I waited to get out because I wanted to see the overall move that I was expecting to get. I didn't get it. Um, but I did hold. I did not get out of my small account. I just I didn't want to tell everyone that I was holding because I didn't want anyone else to take a major loss in the event that I did with the small account. So I just kind of kept that one to myself. But here's what I noticed. End of day yesterday, Apple went way down, came up, hit the 20 EMA and rejected. So I'm sorry, this not EMA. This is a 20 daily SMA. This is a 50 daily SMA. The purple's a 50, cyan is the 20 daily. Both of these are daily SMAs. They don't move throughout the day. They're dailies. They don't flow or anything with price. They reset every day. Um, so, and they're really big deals, right? You could see it held it up here, held it up here again, finally broke, kind of came back up a little retest there, didn't go all the way up to it, but this definitely retested. This came up, I'd call that a retest. You don't have to be right on it for it to be a retest. But then price stayed below this the entire morning. So I was like, oh man. And then the other really important thing that I had noticed is my um, long LRC level that I have right here. I'm going to show you guys what I was looking at on that. This might get a little messy, sorry, but it's the best way I can. Yeah, yeah, it's really rough. Nope, let me cancel that. Let me get rid of the highlight. That way it's not so difficult. This might be hard for you guys to see. I don't know honestly how difficult it is, but um, this blue line right here is the line that I wanted to see Apple get below. Notice how this long LRC was support, 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 became resistance, became resistance, became resistance. I actually had a gap up, literally starting right on the long LRC, straight up. Look at that move off of it. So I noticed that we were getting close to it pre-market. And I noticed that, now this is a 1 hour chart. I noticed that we were, let me go to a 30-minute. That might help us see it a little better. I noticed that we had come up and hit this and also hit this. So we were kind of wedging between the two. What I wanted to see is a break of my long LRC and a close below it this morning. And my idea was if this breaks and closes below, which it did, I'm going to go back to the 2-minute. Let me turn back on the highlight the pre-market. So here's exactly what happened. It came below, it closed. I mean, it went way down, but it closed here. I told the group, hey guys, I'm getting in this Apple trade if I get a pullback to the 20 to the long LRC, and I did. I took this as my pullback. It came up more than 3/4 of the way up this full move. So I entered probably about right in here as it was going down. I entered pretty heavy on my large account, and I entered on my small account as well. So it went down, went down, went down. I was actually in okay profit on my large account right here, believe it or not. I was in pretty good profit. But I decided to hold, hold, hold. I wanted to see if this red LRC was going to become a resistance and then us go down. It kept looking like it was going to go, and I was like, man, this thing is going to set up beautiful. I kept getting these pushes, and then the market just kept getting stronger and stronger, breaking levels. And what I noticed is that it started to go up. So when it came up to the long LRC, I decided that I was going to just trade my typical plan and see if I get a pullback and a move down. I held it too long with my large account. I ended up getting out right in here for a $1,230 loss. So that was kind of a bummer. I should not have probably held it that long. There were circumstances in the market that was kind of helping me to hold it. Once this started going up here, it was kind of a good night, good night, Irene. It was done. Once I got back up over the long LRC, honestly, right here this one should have been my exit. I should never have held it to here. This is that human part of trading that I talk about all the time, and I do pretty good with it a lot of times, but this time I really did not. I held this too long, and I should have just got out right there and taken a much smaller loss and moved on, but I didn't. So with my small account, because it was my small account, I know it impacts it more, but it wasn't like that much of a loss. I was down like 125, 128 bucks on this push. But then my idea was I'm not getting out as long as the 20 and the 50 dailies are as long as I don't close two consecutive reds over the 20 or the 50s. And that didn't happen. So I continued to hold my Apple trade. I was going to hold it overnight actually. Because on my small account, just because if I'm below the 20 and the 50, I have full confidence that this thing's going to stay on a downtrend. But anyway, so interestingly enough, I had just kind of sucked it up. I was going to end in an actual loss today. I thought I had about a $200, but when I went back and reviewed my trades, I think I was in an actual loss. But anyhow, I was playing a online video game with a friend, and I noticed this happen. It came up, retested, came down. I got a red, a red, a red, and I was like, wow, if I can catch this right here, breaking below this structure left, that's getting really close. These are my two long LRCs. So I entered on this push right here on my large account, and I entered pretty heavy. and it went boom. I was up a lot. I sold half. The next candle straight down. I literally was like just trading while we were in a game playing, and I made it all the way to here, and I sold. I sold for I erased a $1,230 loss and turned it into a $3,400 profit, which was insane on this move. Um, I kind of wish I was trading SPX and others because I could have really, really, really made a large amount of money, but that was amazing. And that just those two huge candles. Now I entered pretty heavy. So anyhow, oh, and I sold my small account here and I only made, well, you know what? I think I was trying to get more on my small account. I don't know why. I ended up selling my small account on this green candle going back up. So I was up 140 bucks, but I only ended up getting 97 was the total that I got on my small account. And let me see. Here's the actual trades. Oh, and this is what I can't spell. Interrelated. Entered puts. Anyway, this is the actual trade, how I took it, um, and how it actually ended up working out. Crazy, crazy, crazy day. I should have had a red day, but ended up with a green day, which uh, really just lucky actually that this happened at the end of the day. We may be back also, guys. We had a few couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks back, that literally all of our trades, we all the best trades came after like lunch. We may be back on that trend again, so we may have to keep an eye out for that. I did make several losses. Not bad trades. They just flipped, and I didn't scale out quick enough. I kept. This is something I struggle with, and I've got to start trying. I know that we're in a choppy market. I tell the group, we discuss it, we talk about it. I explain, hey, and it, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know what type of market we're in, right? We are in a choppy, news-driven market. You have no idea what's going to happen at any moment. Something can happen politically and change the whole dynamic of what's going on. So I had mentioned that I was going to enter light today, and had mentioned that I was going to uh, scale out, or we should probably scale out. And that's what I should have done right here. I was in actually really good profit once again right here, guys. I ended up with a $950 loss because I didn't take profit at my LRC level. I entered here, excellent entry, didn't get continuation, but excellent entry, big move. I got greedy, I guess. I'm holding it, waiting for this thing just to keep right on going, which I really thought it was going to. And look what happened next. Big giant red candle. So when I get a red candle that comes all the way down to my 20 EMA, I don't get out. I just will wait because the 20 EMA and the 200 are going to be my ultimate stop out. So that's what happened. I waited for this to come down and close, and I exited. Excuse me. I exited on this close of that candle for a $950 loss. So that was a bummer. I should have taken profit right here, or not all profit. I should have at least scaled out. Maybe I would have ended in a loss, but it would have been far less if I had taken a good amount off on this push. Just lessons learned. Look at the long LRC and the red LRC, just how incredible this system is, man. It is amazing. Um, every single day, still amazed. So next trade is SPY. So I went ahead and entered SPY long large because I spoke to a rep about SPX because I've been having some issues with SPX filling, and some of the other traders in my group have been doing the same. They said that they've had some they know of an issue and they're working on it or whatever. I guess it's only affecting a certain number of people. I don't know, but it won't fill. Doesn't matter what I do. I can change the contracts. I can get out of the money, in the money, several, three, four of them, load them, try to buy on each one of them, and it just sits in a market order. It sits right on the thing. So I think I don't know if they have like an issue with active trader or what's going on, but um, in any event, I just decided to do 10 times SPY, and that's what I did. So I bought 10 times the amount that I would normally buy. So if I'm going to buy 5 SPX, I'll buy 50 SPYs. That's just what I decided to do. Maybe easier to manage that way. So I may be just doing that more in the future. However, I did end in a loss here. Again, my trade was not a bad trade, with the exception of one thing that I did not focus on, and that was this. I totally did not pay attention to it. If you guys are wondering what I did with these are my long LRCs. That's my long LRCs in the most recent uptrend. Well, one of these is my anchored LRC. This is my anchored LRC. You see it's parallel to these. But this one is my long LRC. So what I did is I changed the colors to my long LRCs. This one, and there's one down here. To cyan for upside. I changed if I have a downside trend, I made that pink. And then a super longs, I made cream. That way, when I see them on my charts, I know that this is a pink. I'm looking for it to pivot off the top. If it's a cyan, I'm looking for it to pivot off the bottom. Well, that's exactly what I missed right here. I should have. This wasn't a bad trade. I traded break of structure, expecting continuation, but I did not wait for it to get below the long LRC. The long LRCs are that important, guys. You have to trust them. If you draw them in and you start watching and paying attention to them, you will trust them. So anyway, I got a close. I got my second close, and that's where I exited for a $780 loss. So I took a loss on that one as well. And then this one was nuts. This one was like a super easy trade. But I honestly don't get it. I don't get what was going on. I entered right here, really heavy on this. This looks so good to me. I noticed that BABA came down, came back, retested, consolidated on the 20 and 200, broke below, finally had this consolidation, broke that consolidation. I entered a heavy in puts right here. Went down a little bit, instantly in a little bit of a loss, or actually a decent loss on this candle, but I didn't care. I was holding as long as it didn't have two consecutive closes above the or at least a retest of the 50, the 20 and the 50. So anyway, it started going down. I literally got all the way down to here before I was in profit. I remember telling the group, I'm like, guys, this is nuts. I'm like, yeah, look at it go. And then I look over at I get this and I get this, and I'm looking at my profit, and I'm still like negative, 280 or something. And I'm like, what is going on? Didn't make any sense, guys. I don't think I've ever experienced that much of a difference with that much of a move. I finally exited right here. This push ended up, I think it was this one. It ended up causing my profit margin, like it was almost like my premiums had to spike. I finally started showing profit on this move, and I exited on this one for a $240 measly profit. As heavy as I was in this, I think I was in like 40 contracts. I should have been about, I'd say at least $2,000 with that move. And just mind-boggling. I have no idea. I can't explain it. I went back and looked. The delta was fine. Don't know what it was. I bought at the money, didn't buy out of the money. So if anyone out there has any idea, please come to my Discord, shoot me a message, comment down below. Let me know what the heck could have been happening there, because that was really that was really out there. Um, I did take a couple other trades. I did make another extra, I think $500 on an Apple trade. Um, it was a call, and I was here. I made a quick 500. I think it was just this right here. I made a really quick 500. I waited for structure break, got in. It got to the 20 daily. I exited. That was when I was holding the other, but I did trade that quickly. It was a little bit risky because I was trading into the fit, but I was just trying to scalp something. Um, I over traded. That's something I have to work on too when we have choppy days. But you don't know you're in a choppy day till you're in the choppy day, and then you're like, okay, it's choppy. I kind of expected it, but um, anyway, just really wild. This was an amazing move. So glad I actually caught that. Um, Anyhow, I hope you guys had a great day. That was my day in a nutshell. Crazy, crazy, crazy day for me. I really kind of a rough last couple of days. I just don't haven't felt like the price action and the market has been moving very, very good. But look at the moves. Look at the moves. I mean, this is what I'm missing. And again, this is at 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock. I think that's what tomorrow. I may just postpone. I have an appointment with a customer tomorrow afternoon, so I may miss the whole afternoon move if we get it again. But look, 2 days in a row, 1 o'clock, great move. Here's 12 o'clock, pretty decent move up here, really good price action. Now this is just looking at Apple. AMD. Oh, I did miss like some good moves today. Nvidia. I don't know. I gave up on Nvidia, but it actually probably had one of the better moves. Meta had a really good move, I think. Look at this crazy good move. Check this out. So 136 was one of my levels. I think I'm supposed to have another level up here, but I don't. I must have erased it. I'll have to go back and do my support resistance. Um, but here's one thing I can show you guys. This is why I created the multiplier. You notice how it's already way above. Oh, just go in and hit 4. Boom, there you go. Now you have an LRC that works all the way up for you and all the way down. But this is, I just want to point this out for any traders that's trying to learn or get an idea or try to come up with a strategy or a concept. So if you're trading and you're trading levels, or if you're even trying to use this Anchored LRC strategy, when you see this happening right here, that's a big deal. There's two things I would look for. One, you would have to have a break and a close below the 200 EMA, right? And that's just the way it would have to happen for me. The 200 EMA gives me an understanding of direction of trend, overall trend on the day, right? So I'm looking for upside moves because I'm above this. So if I'm consolidating, my most probable practical entry is a break above this high, which would have been right here, right? Or maybe even this one candle here. I don't wait. I get right in. If it comes back down, I exit right away. Wait and see if it goes again. I don't care about my commission. I'll get back in, but I am not going to let this thing go down here and give me a major, major, massive loss. So you see consolidation right here on an LRC. You're above your 200. You're riding your 20. You break it, close above your 20. You break structure. You enter, and then you just ride the 20 the whole way up. You didn't get anything to make you get out of this trade. Nothing. You could have taken scaled out here, scaled out here. This was a long LRC. It went right through it. Scale out there. I would normally exit completely on a long LRC because they're so huge at becoming reversals. You do have to be careful though, because a long LRC, because it's done on such a higher time frame, you got to consider it's a range, right? This is a whole range of a level. So you can give it some room. You don't have to like hop out immediately, but you definitely don't want to give it too much. If you start seeing price action, so what I would do is I'd watch price action. Closes above, comes back down, doesn't get back below it, closes back above it, continues. You could just continue holding this thing until you come back down and get two closes, consecutive reds below the 20 EMA, which would have been right there. What an amazing trade. Scale out at the blue. I mean, this was fantastic, and I'm not. I mean, I was really frustrated that I completely missed that beautiful move. Super, super good. I know that TSM had the same, I think the same similar move. Want to just point that out so you can see what it looks like. Same thing. This time, the 200 EMA was above the 20. So you're kind of going, okay, this thing may go down, right? Or it was above the price, but the 20 EMA was below what was on the bottom side. So when this broke above and closed right here, you could enter, and then especially when when the 20 EMA crosses the 200, you're all, yeah, you know you're in. You could have exited right now. You wouldn't have got I wouldn't have got out of this because it got so close to the 20 on this pullback, but it didn't pull down. That's one thing to pay attention to, guys, as well. If you get a trade and you go up, let's say you scale out at your red. Um, if you scale out at your red, I need to change this though. So give me 1 second. Let me get out of this. I have this on the 4 multiplier still because of NVIDIA. There we go. Okay, so if you're in a trade like this and it gets up to one of your LRCs, say you scale out but you're holding, why would you get out with this? It's done nothing but go sideways. There's no reason to get out. If you see price just isn't really coming in a downward direction, like you're getting a reversal, don't get out. I mean, unless you've just made enough profit, I wouldn't get out. I don't. I just wait and I see if I get the push over, and I'll either add or I then just continue to hold as long as I'm staying above my 20 EMA. You could have exited on their second red there, could have exited on the second red there, but this is so close to the 20, I wouldn't have. I would have waited to see if it's going to get below here. Would I have given back more profit if it did? Yes, but it's worth it to me to catch the bigger move and get more profit overall. It's more probable, and statistically speaking, it works out. If you trade the way that I trade, I'm coming out more positive far more than I'm ever coming out negative. So that's a pretty big deal. Your only exit would have been right here, but you could have scaled out at each of these intervals, and then you would have been able to scale out enough that this move right here wouldn't have even phased you. So anyhow, that's it, guys. I've went a little bit longer than I expected. You guys have a great night. I hope you had a good day. I really had a rough day, honestly. I probably should have been red today, but thank my lucky stars, I got into the trade that whatever happened here must have been some sort of news happened. Like I said, I was playing a video game when I traded it with Apple, and I was able to wipe out my loss. So super super stoked about that happening. I was kind of bummed about the day. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna come back tomorrow refreshed. Try to be maybe a lot more patient. I do have an afternoon or an evening or afternoon meeting with a customer, so um, I have to set that up in the morning. I don't actually have a set time yet. So anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. For all the members, thank you guys for all you do. Congrats on your good trades today. Some of you guys absolutely killed it. Nix, you're incredible. You are just literally destroying it. So keep up the good work. If you guys are interested in coming and trading with us live each and every day, the link is in the description down below. There's a link to the free channel and to the members channel. The members channel gives you free trading. I'm sorry, free, yeah, gives you live trading. I do the call outs, I call out setups, I call out my entries, my exits. I call out, or I provide pretty much quite a bit of information, maybe overloading information on the guys. I haven't actually checked, but I stay pretty steady with giving information on what's happening. Um, Also, I provide support resistance levels, long LRC levels. There's lots of good stuff going on, and not to mention it's an amazing community. So if you guys are interested, come on in, join us. If not, just come to the free spot. You can ask questions. I'll help. I'll do whatever I can to help you out there. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. I will see you in the next video, you guys. Have a good night.